All right, good morning. So today I want to talk to you about the Thousand Sons. So behind the Space Wolves, the Thousand Sons are the army that I've played the most and put the most effort into, even though I don't get to play much anymore. I wanted to talk about this new release that they've got, because it's weird. So these are the new robots they showed off, and there's a lot going on here that I don't think makes a lot of sense from an aesthetic point, which is really, if you're playing Thousand Sons, you're playing it because you like the aesthetic. They've never been a top tier army for any reason except aesthetics. Now, these robots are designed, it looks like, to appear nimble and agile, which is bizarre because aside from Nurgle, Tzeentch is the army that is the most steady and slow. It's always been a thing. Except for Nurgle, this is the tough, slow army, where Nurgle requires huge amounts of high damage things to get them off the board. Tzeentch requires lots and lots of small arms fire because large arms fire they could traditionally just kind of ignore. So it doesn't give that vibe off. It doesn't give a sorcery vibe off. This pallid bone and gold trim is such a bizarre, striking difference between the rest of the army with its bright, vibrant teals and yellows. So the dark black undercoat and the bone overlay is a bizarre choice. And it's not like it makes a ton of sense from a lore perspective because they're just Finley robots that look like they walked in from 30K and had the aesthetics thrown on top of them. And so here's the problem with that. These exists. Now, this robot looks slow, brutal, like it would take a tremendous amount of effort to take down. It's got a sleek style to it that you could easily have adapted. You could throw some of those horizontal lines that we love in, switch the red out for the blue or the teal and the yellow, and you would have something here. This thing is awesome. Its design makes it look slow and lumbering, which fits in with the Thousand Sons aesthetic. This thing looks like it should fill a gap that the Thousand Sons desperately need of a fast, hard-hitting unit, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and guess that that's not what this is going to do. It's also kind of bizarre because the way its feet are designed, it almost looks like it's wearing high heels, which is an interesting choice for a spindly robot. But again, if we go back to this, why on earth wouldn't you just have given them the 40K version of this thing? It bothers me. Thousand Sons usually come. There's this one. Look at that autonomous robot with no soul and no distinguishing mutated features of any sort because it's just a robot. And the only time those two flavors intersect is sometimes some of the bigger sorcerers will have some bit of mutation that blends the two. And then there's the demons, which I'm counting as mutants for this particular argument. But that's what I mean. So this spindly robot doesn't look like a mutant, doesn't look like a demon, doesn't look like a Thousand Son. It looks like an Oziok Bone Reaper with 40K guns, which can look very Thousand Son. I've seen lots of people do great conversions with that, but this is not the way. The color scheme is weird and wonky and disjointed, and it literally looks like they just took the Thousand Sons bands and put them inside of armor panels on this thing they had sitting around that they didn't know what to do with, and then gave it the missiles from the Scarab Occult and threw a little bird on top of its dome piece. If we were gonna do a robot that you wanted to be fast, why not make it like a weird fly robot or a skittery robot or a arachnid robot? Why does it just look like it is a stick up its ass, barely able to move, but looks like they wanted to design it like it could move quickly? It boggles my mind. You had this would have been great. I'd have loved to have seen this make a comeback. Instead, we got this. And this is the Year of Chaos. And do you know who's winning the Year of Chaos? The Space Wolves. Everything I see about the Space Wolves is on brand. It matches the theme. They look great. Their proportions are solid. They scream Space Wolf. This screams, I stole it from AdMech. Now, if we're stealing shit from AdMech, that's one thing, but I don't think that's what's happening here. And if you're going to tell me the Dark Mechanicum can't outdo the previous stuff that they've already done, then okay, sure. But why are we making a model and making it the Year of Chaos Tzeentch thing that doesn't look like a Tzeentch thing? And I'm not generally one to want to spend a whole video griping on an aesthetic, but like, this is not good. This is not good at all. And the Thousand Sons have such a cool aesthetic, and that is all they have. They have never been a top tier army, even amongst Chaos. And that's coming from somebody who loves them enough to play them even when they suck. But you took the sorcery phase away. You took the spell variety away, and you vaguely shoved it in. And then now you're taking away the aesthetics that make them interesting. That Egyptian armored endless swarm thing that they've got, that legion of automatons, like, this is mega disappointing. And honestly, if it wasn't that the Space Wolves came out this year, this would have been one of the worst years I've seen in a minute for GW Designs. And that is the only thing they have left that they do better than other people anymore, is that some of their designs are absolutely stellar. But anymore, like the 3D community, the independent artists, like, they're catching up and they're surpassing. And when you put out crap like this, and then you look at the community behind the Thousand Sons, the 3D printed community, it is I'm telling you, they're not a group of people that you should be out here putting your, D-list material out. Like, you need to put your good stuff out if you're going to try and go through and send out thousands of takedowns to everyone who does anything with your product and then produce product that looks like this. I'm just saying, I think it's a bad look. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments, and we will have a discussion. Please remember to be respectful. Although I don't give a shit about Games Workshop because they're a giant corporation and I don't defend corporations, please be respectful to other people, because people are human beings, and even if you disagree with them, it doesn't give you a right to be shitty to them. Thank you, and I'll catch you next time.